Hey, it's Chrissy. Feeling today's conversation? Dig deeper with today's guest and hear more from all our groundbreaking guests on Audible. From bestsellers and new releases to podcasts and Audible originals, discover the next step on your journey. Go to audible.com/Chrissy on Audible. You're listening to Self-Conscious with Chrissy Teigen, an Audible original podcast. Join me as we explore the cutting edge of health, wellness, and personal growth with the world's leading experts and thinkers. From inspiring stories to actionable insights, our conversations aim to help you lead a healthier, happier, and more productive life. Ambition is often seen as a good thing, a sign of drive, of purpose, of wanting more. But what happens when our ambition is actually hurting us? That's the question at the heart of The Ambition Trap, a new book by executive coach and author Amina AlTai. In it, she makes a powerful distinction between two kinds of ambition. Painful ambition, which is driven by fear, trauma, people-pleasing, or the need to prove yourself, and purposeful ambition, which is rooted in alignment, healing, and a clear sense of what actually matters to you. On today's episode, we're talking to Amina about how we break out of the ambition trap and what it means to reimagine success on your own terms. Amina AlTai, welcome to Self-Conscious. Thank you so much, Amina, for joining us today. This is nice not to have something so incredibly heavy, but still touches on our roots and our childhoods a little bit. So we're talking today about ambition.
We are.
It's such a hot topic nowadays because on Instagram, on TikTok, we are constantly pushed content about hustle culture and high value men and what it takes to be the best and to be at their level and what they do. And they wake up at 4 a.m. or they have a 12-hour day. And this is how to be successful. This is what you need in your life. And if you're not hustling, if you're not grinding, if you're not thinking of money, and if you're not pushing yourself, then you're doing it all wrong. I love your book so much because I realized that I think my type of ambition might be something called comparison ambition. I have a husband that's very successful and really good at what he does, and he's so smart and so well-spoken and works really, really hard. And I don't necessarily think I would be doing all the things I'm doing if he weren't that kind of person. I don't know if I would describe myself as ambitious.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No, I love this conversation. So as I was writing the book, I was having conversations with women across the country and historically excluded people across the country. And people would fall into two camps. They would say either I'm wildly ambitious, or they would say, actually, I completely reject that term because what I have seen has been so dysfunctional. But actually, I think we're all innately ambitious. I think ambition is neutral and natural, and I wanted to redefine it in the book, and I redefine it as simply as a desire to unfold, a desire for more life. And if you think about it, every living thing on the planet has a desire for more life. But what we've been shown in the world is that ambition is more for more's sake all the time, and you have to hurt yourself for it. And so that's the conversation I wanted to flip the script on, because I think ambition actually needs to look really different, and we all have it.
I'm going to unpack the ambition trap for us. Why was it important for you to write about now?
Can I tell my origin story? Because I feel like that's really why. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've mentioned this before, but I feel like my life was a walking ambition trap. So when I first started my career, I worked in marketing and I was carrying forward all of this familial programming. I was deeply boundaryless and codependent and the child of immigrants, and felt like as a brown person, I had to be the hardest working person in the room to be taken seriously. And
a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Both
in
of them.
business,
My
right?
God,
where people
yeah.
just kind of discount you based on your appearance or your gender or what have you. And I ended up burning out and developing 2 autoimmune diseases. And it happened in this very dramatic fashion where I had started to feel unwell and there were small symptoms. And I went to 7 different doctors before one would take me seriously, because that's a whole thing too. And then the 7th doctor called me one day while I was driving to a client. And she said, Amina, if you don't go to the hospital now, instead of going to your client, you'll be days away from multiple organ failure.
Wow.
And so it was this pressure cooker, boiling point moment where I realized my relationship to ambition and success is so broken, and I can't be the only one. And I went on this journey to just heal my own life. I called it my Eat, Pray, Love year, where I went to like study mindfulness and coaching and somatics. And just at the end of it was like, oh my God, I feel so much better. I have to soften the learning curve for other people. And then, you attract what you are. So when I became a coach, I was getting all of these really ambitious people, especially historically excluded people, come into my coaching practice with very similar stories. Our relationship to ambition isn't working, right? Especially if you're a woman, a person of color, a queer person, a person with a disability, right? The world wasn't necessarily designed for us to succeed. So we experience all these other headwinds and far fewer tailwinds. So we're trying to outwork this broken system. And in it, we take a hit. We end up getting really sick. We burn out. We feel like we can't break through the glass ceiling, or if we do break through the glass ceiling, we fall off the glass cliff. There just wasn't space for us. And so I just felt like we had to find another way.
When you say you talk to ambitious people, does that mean they're successful or ambitious? Or both? I'm just curious.
Well, I think everybody's ambitious naturally, right? Even when you were saying like, I'm ambitious about what I want for my kids, that's ambition, right? And success is such an interesting conversation, right? Because what is success? Success is how we define it for ourselves. So if they felt successful and they felt like they were really happy and content in their lives, they're successful. But if it's that good on paper life, I don't know that that's necessarily success, because I think it's hurting a lot of us.
How would one know if they're in painful ambition versus purposeful ambition?
Yes. So I think the dominant paradigm that we see in the world is painful ambition. Ambition that's driven by the core wounds. So there's 5 core wounds, and we all have them, even if we had the most magical childhood. And they are rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice. And we wear corresponding masks based on the wounds that we have. So for example, one of my wounds is betrayal. The mask we wear is control. So we try to control everything. And so you'll start to see...
What's the abandonment mask?
Dependence. So we feel overly reliant on the people around us.
Oh, yeah.
And then rejection is avoidance. So a lot of people that felt rejected, they'll avoid going toward the thing because they don't want to be hurt again. Yeah. Another big one that I see with my clients is the humiliation wound. So we felt like our parents or caregivers were ashamed of us. Then the mask is masochism or martyrdom. We will be the hardest working person in the room. We will hurt ourselves to achieve the goal because we feel unworthy.
Wow.
So painful ambition is coming from the core wound, whereas purposeful ambition is coming from a place of wholeness, a place of truth. And painful ambition has a couple of signatures. And so it looks like, again, kind of being the hardest working person in the room, and you're willing to instrumentalize your mind and body to get to the goal. You'll also maybe do that with other people and the people that you work with. It also looks like a fixed mindset. So black and white, either or thinking, a self-imposed sense of urgency without a real why behind it. So some hallmarks like that.
Wow, I wish I were that person. I don't know. I always think about that. Like, why am I not a hustler?
I actually think it's wonderful that you're not a hustler, right? Because we are radically reframing ambition, because the idea that ambition has to be hustle, I think, is broken and it doesn't work for all people. So I think it's magical that you don't feel that way. And what you were saying too.
I feel bad about it though, a lot, because especially
let's talk about this.
Oh man, well, I'm
tell me about the shame.
So much shame, girl. So much shame. I look at my life and I'm like, I am afforded every opportunity imaginable. I have every contact imaginable. If I wanted to do this, or if I wanted this for my friend, and I try to make everything happen for everybody. And then I'm not doing that for myself. I'm really frustrated and hard on myself. I'm really like tough on myself about rest when I don't want to do something.
I'm curious. Are you comparing yourself to somebody else's path, right? So you said comparison before, or is there avoidance here around your own growth?
I think a lot of avoidance, because I don't like failing. Sucks for sure.
Yeah. But why do you feel like you're not taking advantage of all the opportunities? Because I feel like even this show is such a beautiful example, right? You have so many amazing voices on the show and a lot of people that we haven't heard of yet.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so generous.
Well, that I can do because it's for other people. I genuinely love this because, one, it is so therapeutic for me. I know that the people listening love it, and I get to highlight incredible people like you. That is everything to me. But I don't really like doing things for myself.
Why?
That gets deep because I don't deserve it. I'm a punisher. I would say like a big thing is like I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Because it came too easy.
Okay.
I don't think that me getting Sports Illustrated or getting to be a model was because I was the most beautiful or the tallest, the skinniest. I got that around the time that I got with John. And I knew that that was going to be a thing. You know, it's alluring. They knew that he would be at the fashion shows and
so the story is it should be harder. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it should be harder.
Whose story is that?
Just lucky. I'm just lucky. And that's why it's so hard to accept, is because it's just luck. And there are people better than you, smarter than you, prettier than you, taller than you, skinnier than you, that will never see the light of day. So I think about that often.
Yeah. I don't fully believe in luck. I feel like every time we show up and we show up well and with integrity, we increase our surface area for luck, which is probably what you did, right?
If they say it takes 25 rejections, then you got to be excited for those rejections.
Game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a game, a numbers game. Yeah. What is something that you tell each of the people that you work with? Is there something across the board that they need to hear usually? The ones that are in painful ambition mode?
One of the things that almost makes them drop their shoulders and breathe a sigh of relief is the conversation of you are enough.
Yeah.
Because so many of them are working so hard because they have that wound of I'm not good enough. There's something fundamentally wrong inside of me. And so they're trying to achieve all of these external accolades to fill that internal wound. And so as a coach, honestly, I really feel like my job is just to reflect back how amazing they are and to love them unconditionally, which I feel so blessed to do. And when I share that or hold that space, they'll have that sort of moment of relief of, oh, I don't have to chase the validation outside of myself. I'm enough.
Yeah.
It's really
And that's
amazing.
so powerful for people to hear. I don't think I've ever heard it. First, like, especially like in childhood and stuff. But never felt worthy of anything or never felt like the words I'm proud of you. Oh my God, they bring chills to me because I can't imagine that. Me and John always make this joke about Real Housewives. I'll talk about it again. Man, those women celebrate their wins, big or small.
I love that.
It's really great. Like they'll do like a soft launch of their lip kit or like hair party and it's not even out yet, or She by Sheree. I mean, they are confident and they celebrate everything. And I look at it and we laugh and we joke. Man, could you imagine like throwing a party for yourself because you got nominated for something or because you have an idea for this product that maybe a store has interest in it and they celebrate that. And we laugh because it's so funny that they do that. And then at the end of the day, I go to bed and I'm like, man, I'm actually jealous that they do that. That's so cool.
There's so much in our lives we don't have control over.
Yeah.
So celebrating those moments and those wins actually, I think, is really beautiful.
So how do I know if an opportunity is actually right for me or I'm just saying yes because I need the validation and need people to see me as a hard worker and a hungry person?
Yeah. Love this question. So inside the book, there's a 5-part framework called the Aligned Leadership Framework, and it helps us weigh any opportunity that comes our way to make sure that it's aligned with the truth of who we are. So the 5 parts...
Wait, so if I gave you an opportunity that was thrown my way, we could unpack it and see
100%.
if I actually want to do it?
Yeah, can we do it?
Oh, yeah.
Great. So the 5 parts are, it has to honor our gift. So we all have zones of genius, the thing that we are off the charts amazing at, that we were meant to contribute in the world. So it has to tap into our gifts. It has to be values aligned because when we work outside of our values, we feel constant friction. It has to be connected to the thing that we want to impact, whether that is for our family, community, or the greater good. It has to foster a sense of contentment, the big C word, and then it has to meet our needs.
I was thrown this incredible opportunity to do this awesome show with this awesome, incredible chef. And it was going to be on a really glitzy network. This was another hosting opportunity and it was big and glossy and glitzy and cool. And I said no to it. And I think every day, especially seeing the billboards or seeing the press for it or seeing it on my favorite network, it is a bit soul crushing to like see how good of a thing it looks like.
Yeah.
And I could have had it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was the right decision.
Yeah.
So maybe we can unpack your 5 and I can tell me if I made the right decision or not.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you made the right decision?
I don't know. I thought I did until I saw how cool the show looks and all the press and promo and how fun it looks. And sometimes I make decisions, like big decisions, based on my mood that day. And sometimes if I'm in an exhausted mood, I'm like, oh no, I could never do this. It's like going to the grocery store when you're full. You don't really want anything.
So hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if I made the right decision.
Well, it's interesting because it sounds like the comparison piece was coming up, which you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation. But it also sounds like it didn't fully meet your needs because the timing piece was off.
I have 2 toddlers. I love my big kids, but they have so many sports and activities and friend stuff. And they're in the mode now where they have the best time without John and I necessarily. But the toddlers, man, it's knowing that I'm not going to have any more children because of John not wanting to have any more children. I want to suck in every moment of how cute these toddlers are right now. That was the only reason. It was just the babies.
Yeah.
But then I look at them now and I would be home by now. It would be all over. I might have missed some funny moments or some babble or some days in the park but I don't know if it was worth it. Because, I mean, that's so weird to say. Obviously, you love your kids. But now that I'm home and I've seen it all, like I didn't leave for a month or anything. I've been home. At this point now, I'm like, could I have missed that? Maybe I could have, maybe.
What I hear...
They're so cute, but they wouldn't have noticed.
It's very honest. I love this. But also what I hear is that originally the opportunity cost sounded too expensive. You would have missed 6 weeks with your kids, and this is a really important time, and you didn't want to miss those 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it didn't meet your needs, because if it was here and in your home, you wouldn't miss that time, right? The conditions weren't right for you.
Yeah.
But I actually think what's really important about this story is connected to your ambition. You do have a desire for more life and a wish to grow and unfold around this, it sounds like. So then moving forward, when we write the dream, we have to figure out, how do we make the conditions and the context the right thing for you so you can meet your needs? How do you design that opportunity, but have it be so that you can watch your kids and be with them?
Yeah. I get to see John be on The Voice and have such a lifestyle. He's home by dinner. We make dinner together. He's here for breakfast. He takes the kids to school every single day. Like, John is living my dream life when it comes to like getting to be on a big glitzy TV show, and it works for him. He thrives in it. And I love seeing that for him, because he gets to be an awesome dad still and gets to perform and win awards and do everything. And his balance with it is so good. And I haven't found that exactly yet. I try to do all my work from home. So I'm home a lot. I very rarely leave the house, truly. And when I do, it's like very, very big. So I think if something does come my way where it felt right and felt great, I'd be so happy to get out of the house. I think right now at this point, I've just become so comfortable here. And maybe that's why I think I'm not ambitious, is because I don't get out of the house.
I don't hear that in you. I do actually hear ambition, right? You're like, this dream looked really good, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted and needed. And this happens for my clients all the time. We'll go through the scorecard and they'll be like, well, it's not paying me the salary I want, but I get this free parking spot. And it's like, no, your needs aren't met. And you can call in the thing that looks like that and meets your needs. But that's what I love about this. Let's just refine the dream so you can have what you want and need. And the other thing I'd say too is, it's so great that you have John as the belief system expander. You're witnessing somebody so close to you that actually has what you want. So if it's possible for him, it's possible for you.
I know. He's just... There's an episode of Seinfeld where Jerry dropped a $20 bill and he lost it and he was so bummed about it. And then he reached in his pocket and he found like another $20 bill. That's John. Everything always evens out for him. He's the easiest dude ever. Everything always works out. He's assertive when it comes to music and things, but... I would not say John is a lucky person at all. Like, he's worked incredibly hard, a little bit of luck involved for sure. But when I watch him, I'm just in awe of how he seems to have done it all right. He has the, I believe, exact life he wants.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What do you think it is about him that has allowed that to unfold?
That's a good question. That's really good. He's assertive, but he's open. He genuinely does what he loves. Sometimes there are parts of me that I have to hold back so I get to be like the perfect person all the time now. But with him, he gets to be 100% himself.
You also get to do that, right? It's a choice. And this is what we're talking about in the 5-part framework, right? You have magic and a zone of genius. And you just said there's a part of you that holds that part back. But when you work in your zone of genius, what you bring forth is so amazing that it far outpaces what other people could do in that space, because it's your secret sauce, right? Like John, he's working in his magic and his secret sauce, and therefore everything is catalytic. Imagine if you would let yourself fully have that.
That is where I would like to be more ambitious, or that is where I have the hunger for it, but this fear that is blocking it, because I'm just so scared of disappointing people again or letting people down, that I've just created this wall where I'm just not going to be that person. And I'll be funny with my friends and I'll be silly with them, or I'll be really open with people around me. And I'm honestly the most open person on the planet. Yeah, but I've had to like shut it down a lot because it's too risky now. I've seen too much hurt from it. And so if there's one area of my life where I wish I gave it my all more and let people see it, it would be that area. Because I miss that part about myself.
Well, what you're pointing to, I think, is actually super important because as a person of color, as a historically excluded person, it's not always psychologically safe to go to the full truth.
Yeah.
Context is so important.
Yes.
I feel the same way. And we can create as much internal stability as we want, but we also live in kind of a trippy world, right? So you have to really think about the psychological...
And an unfair world, being women of color, being of color, being women... Things are just never going to be the same for us. The kind of shit we get is never going to match what a man could say or what a male comedian could get away with saying and things like that. So it's always been frustrating for me, but I've just come to terms with it. I try to think of it as the price I have to pay. But in a way, it is like literally the most important thing to me personally to get to speak up. I mean, I have gut pain even thinking about it.
But for you especially, I think you need to find those community pockets where you can be 100% unabashedly yourself. There's this beautiful TED Talk by Brittany Packnett Cunningham, who I love. She's an author and an activist.
Let me write it down. Brittany what?
Packnett Cunningham. And it's about confidence. And she says, confidence needs permission to exist. Community is the safest place to try it on, and curiosity affirms it. And so that confidence that you have inside of you, like the gifts that you have, but it needs to be in a safe community space. And then you need to keep affirming it with curiosity.
Yeah. And I guess Threads and Instagram and TikTok are not safe
Those are
community
not
spaces.
safe spaces. This is such an important conversation because we need to democratize gifts and genius. Everybody has them, but we live in a world that tells us that genius looks one way, that it's high IQ, that it's white, that it's male, right? So when I was writing the book, I traced the lineage of the word genius, and all the way going back to ancient Rome, it's always a hero and never a heroine. And there was a study from the 92nd Street Y, and they were looking at girls as young as 6, and they think that being a genius is a male trait, not a female trait.
Wow.
So this is culturally co-signed. So the fact that you're like, I don't have genius because you've been told that, right? Every single person in the world has a form of genius. And imagine if we lived in a world where everybody was allowed to let that be and let that speak.
How would you categorize the word genius then? What is a genius to you?
Genius is bringing forth the best that is within you, whatever that is, whatever that looks like.
Oh.
So what is the best that is within you?
I think of genius as like Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, high IQ people.
Right, that's it. And you know, the thing, we talked about this before, but the thing about IQ is, again, it measures motivation, not aptitude. And so we have all of these people that are so brilliant in so many ways, but we've discounted it because we live in a world that thinks that brilliance is only one particular way. You have it. I have it. Everybody here has it. It's not for the select few.
I wouldn't know what mine was, really.
Okay, so what is the thing that flows through you so effortlessly that you don't have to push or force? Where do you find yourself in the space of flow?
My sense of humor. Like
You're very funny.
Even like, thank you. Even through darkness, I mean, I can push through and make anything funny.
Yeah.
And I'm very quick. I'm very proud of how quickly I can think of something. And that would be like the most I could ever say about myself that's positive.
Now, what about you? Well done. You did it. You did it.
Okay.
What about you allows you to be so quick? How do you figure out the right thing to say that's so funny that's going to land for all of us?
I don't know, honestly. I do know why I'm funny, and that's like from trauma. I think people that come from like a background
tragedy
of trauma,
plus time equals comedy. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The funniest.
Are you able to read people pretty quickly and kind of like, I know what's going to... Yeah, that's your gift, right? That's your magic. You know what's going to land. And maybe that comes from trauma, right? Like hypervigilance.
Yeah.
But, you know, they say in Eastern traditions, the lotus is born of the mud. Doesn't matter where it comes from. That's your gift. You can read people. You know exactly what's going to land for us.
You are honestly so right saying that it comes from having to read people quickly, because I grew up in a household where I never knew what emotions. I had to adapt really quickly to, are we having a good day? Then I'm going to be happy. Are we going to be good? Or we're having a bad day. So let's all quiet down. And this is how I'm going to speak to you. So I just really know how to speak to people based on their mood, basically. Because
I got chills.
Grew up like that.
Yeah, you can really read people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That comes from like a sad place, though, for sure.
The fact that you can understand what people need, maybe even before they know what they need, that's certainly a gift. I think there's also a gift of vulnerability with you too that I think is really beautiful.
Thank you.
And it invites other people into that same vulnerability. How did it feel to say your gifts out loud?
Ugh. Calling them gifts is so funny too.
But everybody has them. So then how could you feel weird about it, right? It's not like we have them so we're special and nobody else is. Like we all have them.
If you were to say traits, I feel like for some reason the word gift or genius is, that's a lot.
I wonder if there's some shadow there. Did you have to be excessively humble growing up?
Yes. Yes. Reminds me of being on an airplane and going on like modeling jobs and being in business class and having it be full of dudes. And then they would ask me what I did for a living and I could never say it. I would make something up. I would like...
Because saying the thing makes you what?
Braggadocious.
Yeah,
or
there's your shadow, right? You feel like you're not allowed to take up space, fully shine, because to brag or to even just share what you're good at is a negative thing.
Also, I'm hyper aware of how anything I say or do comes across. And I'm way too aware. So before I say anything, before I type anything now, I know exactly the response I'm going to get. I've just learned to like protect myself by just not doing it at all.
I'm curious if there's someone that has an identity similar to yours out in the world that you see being fully themselves. Okay, who?
And
if you don't want to name them for whatever reason, I get that. But
God, that's people that I'm like so jealous of that they get to speak their mind. Sorry, who hosted the Golden Globes? Oh, Nikki Glaser, Padma Lakshmi. I adore her. She's just like such a great activist. Yeah. She's in the food world. She speaks up. She's funny.
Yeah.
She's hot.
I actually feel she's a great belief system expander for you. What do you feel like she's created for herself that you don't have, that she can say the thing out in the world and you can't?
It's hard to even talk about because I trained myself that it's never going to happen again. So it's a bit of a death, honestly. It's just like a death of a part of me that I'm not going to get to have that again. And I think there was like a bit of America's sweetheart involved in it where I felt on top of the world and great. And then now it's just terrifying. And I don't think I would survive it all again, honestly. So I'm going to stay away from it. So I've buried it, put up the tombstone, and then I try to make myself happy in other ways, which is not the core of what I really want, though. So when ambition is aligned, what does it actually feel like inside your body?
I think it feels like a regulated nervous system. And so many of us operate without one, especially when we're quote unquote ambitious in the old paradigm sense, or we're chasing success in the old paradigm sense. So many of us feel like we need to be dysregulated and stressed and burned out to achieve the goal. But actually, I think a regulated nervous system is like the ultimate version of success. I've been practicing nervous system work for the last couple of years and incorporating that into my practice. And I was curious, how many of these people are running from something and it makes them winners? And how many people are like running towards something and it makes them winners? Yeah. Who's regulated, who's dysregulated? And it was really interesting. Like there are definitely people that are chasing the goal and success from a really dysregulated place. And I don't think that's sustainable at all. We will definitely expose ourselves to illness and injury as a result of that. But then there were people that were doing it with a regulated nervous system. And that just gave me so much hope because you don't have to destroy yourself to be successful or to achieve the goal. You can do it in a really harmonious way.
Interesting. We actually talk about emotional regulation a lot. Are you talking about it in terms of dipping your face in ice? How would you classify emotional regulation?
So the body of work that I was immersed in, it teaches you that the body has certain tells. So for example, when I'm fight or flight, my left shoulder rotates backward because I'm getting ready to run.
Oh, wow.
And so all of our bodies have different tells. And so our organs move internally because we're either getting ready to fight or we're getting ready to run or getting ready to fawn. Everybody's body has different tells. There are some tells that are universal. And so you can often tell by looking at somebody's structure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What are other tells?
One universal tell is your tongue. It's a black and white indicator of fight or flight. So for example, if your tongue is at the top of your mouth, it's an indication of rest and digest. If it's more towards the bottom, it's an indication of fight or flight. And it can happen for no good reason. I would just walk down the street sometimes and I'd be like, here she goes in fight or flight again for no reason.
Wait, tongue at the top means what?
Rest and digest.
I don't ever have that. Is that bad?
It's not
Mine's
good or bad.
never up. I just did it. It's never been up there before.
That is a novel experience for me.
It's so weird. Yeah, they've never met before.
Yeah. It's not good or bad. It's just the way that we are conditioned. And then over time, it is helpful to be more regulated because the more dysregulated we are, our bodies can express disease. And so it can be helpful to
I'm going to be so aware of that now. Mine like pushes against my bottom teeth or like below that area.
Great awareness.
What does that mean?
Well, you don't want to make it wrong or bad, right? Because then we kind of stay, we're like, it's wrong. I have to fix it.
It's really interesting to me. I love learning that.
Actually, if you just notice it, so in the body of nervous system work that I was studying, if you just put awareness on the 2 points, like the tip of your tongue and the bottom of your chin, and you do it for 2 minutes, your tongue will actually move. And so it's sort of a mindfulness practice.
Oh, I love it. It's almost like when they tell you, notice the smell, notice the taste, notice how it sounds. That's
because we live so far out of our bodies. And so by bringing awareness, what happens is our brain, if we go to like the past or the future, we're not in our bodies. Our brain can't update the map of the present moment. So our bodies are like, we're not in the present moment. We're not safe. But when you bring awareness, you update the map of the moment.
What do you want readers to walk away with, not just in work, but in how they see themselves?
The whole reason that I wrote this book is that I wanted people to understand that ambition is for everyone. It is neutral and natural. We all have a right to it. And we've made it right for some people and wrong for others. And I think we really need to course correct that story. And I think that our ambition will look different to what we've seen, to the dominant paradigm. And it's supposed to, because what we've seen has been so dysfunctional. But everybody deserves their dreams. Everybody deserves to allow themselves to unfold and let their gifts speak. And that's what I hope people walk away with. And you too.
Thank you. One day you'll see me out there being sassy and you'll remember this conversation.
I will be so pleased.
Just an old sassy bitch on her porch. And now for the toolkit. Each episode, our guests distill their expertise into practical and actionable insights. Today, Amina takes us through an exercise designed to help us lose our painful ambition.
So now we're going to do an exercise on the core wounds. And so we want to understand which core wounds are yours and might potentially be driving a dysfunctional relationship with ambition. So which core wounds are driving us into painful ambition versus purposeful.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the core wounds and the corresponding masks, and then you tell me which ones hit the most. So the first wound is a rejection wound, which means you felt dismissed and not accepted as a child. And then the mask we wear is avoidance or withdrawal. And you feel a need to escape or run away from people and experiences that bring discomfort. You're avoidant.
So I'll say yes.
Okay. Rejection, +1. Abandonment. You felt discarded. +1 that already. Okay. Abandonment. You felt discarded as a child and fear being neglected as an adult, including by yourself. You likely grew up with a deep sense of loneliness. And then the mask we wear is dependence. You're emotionally reliant on partners in your closest circle and often feel like you can't manage on your own.
Yes.
Okay. Abandonment and rejection. The next one is humiliation, where you felt like one or more of your caregivers were ashamed of you, and there was an underlying feeling that it was impossible to feel safe or joyful and safe in that joy. And then the mask we wear is masochism or martyrdom, where we put others' needs before our own and we're overly helpful and often feel guilty about experiencing pleasure. We can be martyrs.
I have all those characteristics deeply. They're high up characteristics. But I wouldn't say that I ever felt unwanted or... That's a tough one for me.
Yeah, it sounds a bit more like rejection versus abandonment.
Yeah.
Okay. Betrayal. You experience feelings of disappointment and fractured trust from your caregivers. You feel they did not live up to expectations. And then the mask we wear is control. You feel a need to control everything around you. You find it challenging to trust others and easier to do things yourself.
No, and I should. It's so weird.
Great, but good
yeah, no.
Great. Then the last one is injustice. You felt your individuality in childhood was restrained. You likely had a negative response from a caregiver in connection with your unique personality. You felt unappreciated for your true self and like you didn't receive what you truly deserved. So the mask we wear is rigidity. You feel a need to live in a perfect world with no space for pain or discomfort. You choose to work hard to block your sensitivity and are highly demanding of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So we've got rejection, abandonment, humiliation, and injustice. No, not humiliation.
Not humiliation. We're safe from that one.
Great.
We
so
think, though.
Yes. Rejection, abandonment, and injustice. Okay. So of the three, which one feels the most loud for you?
Oh, probably abandonment.
Okay.
What was the last one?
injustice?
The one that hurts the most would be the injustice.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's go towards that.
Okay.
So injustice is the loudest wound. The mask we wear is rigidity. So when you think about injustice and how you felt as a child, so feeling like your unique individuality was restrained, where do you feel it in your body?
My chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Like right here?
Shoulders, chest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just close
My
your eyes for a
heart.
second, if you don't mind. So if you tune into that space, tell me about the sensation that's there. Is it hot, cold? Is it vibrating? What do you feel there?
While I know it's there, I feel nothing.
Okay. Let's not make you wrong for that.
Okay.
Now, as we kind of connect with that sensation in the body again, in the chest and heart space and the shoulders, if you were to give that area a voice around the injustice that you felt, what would it say?
I wish I got to be me.
How old is that version of you?
It's probably 8.
You're doing great. And so I want you to connect with that little 8-year-old version of you around the injustice wound. What does she need when she was saying, I just want to be me? What does she need from adult you?
Affection, support, activities.
And I just want you to kind of tune in again. And I want you to ask yourself, where has the injustice wound and therefore the rigidity mask intercepted your relationship with ambition or made it feel a little wobbly? So where your individuality was restrained, how has that complicated your relationship with ambition?
I don't deserve wins or pleasure. That ambition would only lead to success, which is maybe undeserved when so many other people deserve it more, or I just got lucky and fell into it. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So I want you to thank yourself for allowing yourself to go there. And I'd love for you to make a promise to yourself right now. So what promise can you make for yourself around that to support the core wound?
I promise myself that I will accept opportunities where I get to feel fulfilled and happy and joyful and creative and speak my mind. I promise that I will go into things with less fear. And I promise that I'll try not to be so hard on myself.
I love that. And you said it on the podcast in a public forum. So we're all here to hold you accountable.
Okay.
It's happening. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
My eyes are watering. This was supposed to be joyful. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, I'm not going to cry in this one. It's funny though, because we said this at the very beginning before these cameras were on or anything. And then you had mentioned that still all of this is ambition is exciting and fun and great to talk about. It's fun to talk about success and wins and being hungry. But so much of it is really childhood.
Yeah.
And childhood is what gets me like,
Yeah, of
going,
course.
so.
Because that little version of you needs something that she didn't get.
yeah.
Yeah. But
I
grown-up
know.
you is so amazing and magical
Thank
and
you.
can give her those things.
Amina, thank you so much for today. That was exceptional. Honestly, that was so needed. And it's so funny because it really touches upon so many different parts of somebody's life, ambition. And I never really thought of it like that. In going into this, I honestly thought our conversation would be about how to be successful, how to get what you want, and how to maybe push people out of the way to get what you want. And I didn't think we'd be like looking back so much and really seeing what we need. So I think your book is so beautiful, and thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. It
course.
has been an honor and a joy to sit with you and to feel who you are on the inside. And
Thank
I just
you.
feel so grateful.
Thank you so much, Amina. Thank you for being here. Amina, I want to thank you so much for joining me on Self-Conscious. The Ambition Trap by Amina AlTai is available on Audible. Until then, tune in, turn on, and feel better. This is Chrissy Teigen, and you've been listening to Self-Conscious, an Audible original podcast. This has been an Audible original, produced by Audible and Huntley Productions, hosted by Chrissy Teigen, written and directed by Jimmy Jelinek. Executive producers, Jimmy Jelinek, Chrissy Teigen. Executive producer for Audible, Stacey Creamer. Head of Creative Development at Audible, Kate Navin. Chief Content Officer, Rachel Giazza. Copyright 2024 by Audible Originals, LLC. Sound recording copyright 2024 by Audible Originals, LLC.